peace, love, and power. Humam Abdulmalik, once again, in the early phases of another day. 1 second. In the beginning of a new day of blessings, a new day of dealing with the essence of life. This day the Creator has given us through the breath of life, the source, energy to arise out of the slumber of death. On this day, on the 5th day of Kwanzaa, with the principle of NEE-yah, which is purpose, to make our collective vocation the building and the development of our community in order to restore our people to their traditional greatness. See, America want to take America, or not America, the mindset behind the hidden curtain perpetrated as the Wizard of Oz, or the Wizards of Oz, or the learned elders of protocols of the learned elders of Zion, want to take America back to when it was great. What kind of concept is that? A concept of hypocrisy under satanic administrations. When America was great is when the Aborigine and the indigenous people were here living in harmony. That's when America was great. Then when the so-called pilgrims came over here with ulterior motives from the jails of England, that's when chaos and confusion came about. Is the greatness they talking about is when they killed these people off and made a holiday called Thanksgiving that we so comfortably practice because we suffer from a social narcotics called white supremacy, institutionalized racism, counterproductive to our own culture and our spiritual reality. That's why we got to establish institutions from our cultural understanding. We got to go black into the chambers of the pyramids of our mind and understand the inner verse that the Creator left inscripted on our DNA. We got to go back to esoteric understanding, where they go into secret societies and things of that nature. They want our information to be a secret from us. So with this 5th day of Kwanzaa, NEE-yah, purpose, we have to have purpose in our lives. Purpose to change the conditions that we find ourselves in, that a lot of us are so content with and happy with because our position's in it. Because we have took on that characterization of the indoctrination of a polluted mind, a mindset that's is an alienation of who we are, the development of a so-called black nation, African-centric nation, related to our brothers and sisters in Africa or Akabu land, Nubian and Kemetic mindsets that we need to reflect upon and incorporate into our life and overcome that social narcotics called, what's going on? Excuse me. I have to have that rhythm, and that peace. Excuse me, I apologize for that. But that's what we have to do as a people in this day and time. Because they have a this part of their 20-year plan or 50-year plan or whatever, but they think their new world order is the order of the day. They've been trying to get to this, maybe this point here, through fear, manipulation, indoctrination. Because I recall being around people when the voting was going on or before, and people were saying, if Trump get into office, I'm leaving. Where you going? This is a global affair. Ain't nowhere you can go. You got to go within yourself and overcome your fear, overcome your indoctrination of this. Excuse me 1 minute. You got to overcome this drug, this social narcotics that's been injected into our minds and souls and bodies since we were infants, generation after generation after generation after generation. We got to stop this generational curse and attack upon us. The generational curse, like father, son, and grandfather might be on the plantation together. We got to stop that. We got to stop our young sisters getting impregnated by young brothers that don't have no family intent. They just dealing with their lower self in an animalistic fashion instead of the higher self, the divine and spiritual essence of our being. We got to stop that generational curse, and only we can do it. The leadership and those conscious. I'm talking about those conscious people, or those people that in this day and time, the age of Aquarius, I don't know, but it ain't no fad and it ain't no trend. You know, just something to say to be hip or be fly like we were, you know, back in the 60s and coming up and all that. We can't take this thing as no joke. Just like maybe when we get in religions, become Muslim, become Christians, and we practice those things. It ain't no fad or trend. We got to be in it holistically and for real. But in the development of that, we got to feel for each other, not against each other, not a divide and conquer methodology like this system promotes in their subtle way. And we got to be communal. We got to use these principles of Kwanzaa every day of our life to develop an institution. And it's been here for years. It should be our foundation that we go by now. And it ain't no fad, or ain't no trend. It ain't like no Christmas. It ain't like no Easter. It ain't like no Halloween or no Thanksgiving. It ain't none of that. This applies to our culture that we developed here in America, stemming from the brother Karinga in 1966. But we're in 2016. So we should be at a more political state, but we keep hanging on. I ain't gonna use that term, hanging on. We keep holding on to the concepts and the ideology of the United Snakes of Hypocrisy. This federation or this republic, but for sure it's a corporation with cobble states, with us being the stakes at the game that they play. So, first principle of Kwanzaa, first fruits. First principle, umoja, unity. Second principle, kukuchakalia, self-determination. Third principle, ujima, collective work responsibility. Fourth principle, ujama, cooperative economics. Today's principle, the fifth principle, is NEE-yah, purpose. We have to establish this in our lives to sustain our lives. We got to do that in order to grow and develop an evolutionary process in this revolutionary period in our lives and in society, and it's worldwide. This is global. This is just not local, but all politics are local, but it's a global affair because this sickness of imperialism and white supremacy is worldwide, and it is affecting everybody. So with that, let me start my dialogue, and give me your canvas of your mind for a couple of minutes or a few minutes or whatever, so I can paint a picture of the thoughts that I have conveyed from my inner chambers of the pyramids of my mind to paint a picture. And I want to start today with, I want to go back over 2 poems because it was a trilogy, three, but now it's going to be 4. And it's pertaining to one of the aspects of circumstances in my life with my 3rd wife. And this is what she gave me. This is her, not me. For some time, and it's called You Are My Medina, and it starts. For some time I've been feeling orphaned and alone. So all alone, then suddenly out of his grace, his blessed grace, you appeared to comfort me, to caress me, to entice me to smile, play, forget. Don't you see, man, that you are my Medina? Did you not feel my teardrops and thankfulness on your back, on your chest? Did they not moisten the strands of your beard as you held me close? As you let me know how good it felt to be protected, how good it felt to have my faith restored. Do you not understand how close I was to giving up? To saying to hell with all this. I just don't give a care anymore. To sinking to a forbidden place where perpetual feelings of betrayal, despair, and forlorn trust, accompanied by guilt and shame, would have consumed my mind and my heart. But my soul held out. Allah had blessed it to see the top of the mountain that I've been climbing for so long, all alone. Blessed with faith, Iman. And because of that, Allah used you to pull me up. You don't see, man, that you are already my Medina, my oasis, my place of hijrah. Do you understand the magnitude of these words? You are my Medina. Don't ever go away. That was strong from a sister that I once was intertwined with spiritually, emotionally, and mentally. And this was my answer to that. This is my thoughts. Excuse me one more second so I can get some of this, my honey and ginger crystals, and some good old, I got to get some alkaline water. I need some alkaline water. I swear I do. Okay, this is before I was your Medina. Oh, let me say this before I go into this. Medina is the place you go, with the place where the Islamic State first was established. Mecca is where you go to perform Hajj. It's where the Kaaba at, where Muslims face when they pray and all that. But when you go to Hajj, Mecca is like they say is a hardship because everybody trying to touch the black stone and doing this. But Medina is after Mecca. If you're doing Hajj Akbar, that means you start at Mecca first, then you go to Medina, then you come back. But when you at Mecca, that's the hardships, right? Then when you go to Medina, you just laid back, and you might have seen that in her words or whatever. So I said this. Before I was your Medina, I had to be your Mecca. Let us reflect back to a time before I was on your mind, when we were trying to find each other like long lost sister and brother who didn't know one another but knew something was missing because we were listening to what our hearts had to say. And on one particular day, as I look into your eyes years ago, I realized it was you who I needed, but I couldn't express that without my soul being caught up in turmoil. So my love for you was spoiled, but wasn't spoiled. Or was it spoiled? But it didn't turn sour. Because deep in my heart, I knew we would have our hour. Because that's the power of love that is sent from above. of a spiritual divine nature, one can only find physical attraction such as this, that you will place you in a state of bliss. Now, can I have that mystical kiss? Because before I was your Medina, I had to be your Mecca. Yes, give me that mystical kiss that I missed for so long. But I had to wait because we couldn't date. Yes, it's part of our fate of Islamic faith. And you being so stronger than me was the key to our tender love fitting like a glove, as you render your life to me as my angelic wife. For in Mecca, and before you went through turmoil and strife, but you called on Allah and didn't give up on life. Now as our cup runs over with tests, trials, and tribulations, we will, with the help of Allah, be strong as we face the snares, traps, and enemy of Satan. As our bond bring us closer together, we will never grow weak as we seek each other's strength to combat every foe. Wherever we go, we must know that Allah is with us and He is our protector and guide. So nothing can slide between your Medina, because I'm always your Mecca, and protector in this realm of things to be, because I see you loving me mystically, because I'm your Medina after being your Mecca. And that was my answer to her prolific words. And I want to say something before I go into the other two parts of our journey together. This attire I have on, I wear it to make a statement of how I feel on the inside, right? And I know, like with this here, with my flag at, it's also my staff. Excuse me. It's a staff. You can see it right here. I have this outfit on, and I used to walk in the street with the outfit on and my staff. Right. The first time I wore it, I went to a protest. I went to a protest down to the Justice building with my spiritual brother Yango Sawyer Eel, I call him, because we was in college together, and I wore this the first time with my staff, my rod, whatever you want to call it, and I felt so holy, so religious, so righteous, and it looked that so I wear it sometime, right, and like when I wear it in the street in my community, right, it has an effect upon people. Since I opened that door, let me go here too. I used to work over DC Journal, the homeless shelter, right? I didn't have this on, but I had a kafaya on wrapped around my head, and boom. And I was in the hallway walking down the hall one day, and a little girl walked past me with her mother. And when she walked past me, she said, Mom, there go God. She said that about me because of the way I look, my appearance, or whatever, my energy, my aura, whatever she said. But my point is this: for a little black girl, she was, say maybe 8 or 9 or maybe 10, for her to say, Mom, there go God, the concept in her psychic, her natural, pure psychic mind, she said that a black man is God. How strong is that? How strong is that? That's building on the principles of Kwanzaa, first fruits. That was like so awesome. And I'll never forget that. Not saying, not be egotistical or arrogant or self-centered. I know I'm not God, but I'm the energy of the Creator that's in this temple. I know that for sure, and I accept that, and I proclaim that. I'm not God. I am a God that is part of the Creator that put His energy and everything in me, that carbon, that 666, and the melanin that makes me a human being, the original human being that came from the Creator. And in that essence, that's who I am, and I accept that. And nobody can validate that me for my concept. And again, I'm not ego tripping, and I'm not arrogant or self-centered, and I don't get high. I haven't drunk or high, smoked a cigarette since 1985. because I chose not to, because I wanted to purify my temple, because I'm walking this road and this path of righteousness on the Serato Mustaqim, as my brothers would say. But that's one point, right? This young girl to have that in her mind, to say that about a black man, right? To say this, there go God. That's awesome. But on the other side of that, here's an older lady used to work there, a security guard. The same thing. I had my kafir on, boom. Walking down the hall, she said, "You look like what's his name? Osama bin Laden, you know." Osama bin Laden. I said, "Why I gotta look like him? Why I can't look like a holy man? Why can't I look like Jesus?" She said, "Oh, you can't do that. You can't say that." I say, "Why not? Why not? Why can't I look like a holy man, a righteous man, or even like Jesus?" She went off. She got hysterical. But that is, see, here you go again. That is that social narcotics of white supremacy, of institutionalized racism. Why can't I look like a holy man? Why can't I look like Jesus? Because she's been programmed and she's on this social narcotic so high that she walks around with her eyes wide shut, mentally enslaved, under robot control, and don't have no conception of who she is naturally. That divine nature that we have as African Americans, as indigenous, aborigine, the original people, is our divine nature to be righteous and holy, positive in construction. But when them veils are over your eyes, you can't see a thing. You walk around with your eyes wide shut. And here's the parallel. It's a young girl. She ain't been indoctrinated, or that social narcotics that they inject in your psychic from school and all that. She wasn't affected by it. And she had that natural ability to say, "Ma, there go God." And her reference was to a black man. That's strong. Can't you see how strong that is? But here's this elder. She's a security guard. She's so programmed that I can't look like a holy man. I can't look like Jesus. But it said Jesus had hair of wool and feet of bronze. So why I can't look like him? We suffer from that. Man, we suffer. We got to overcome that and understand who we are. Understand the universe and stop letting this universe affect us. So now you got them 2 points, and my first point. But as I was saying, I used to go in the community. I'm in Washington D.C., Ward 8, and I used to put this on with my raft and walk. And people used to see me that knew me, but not really knew me. But I'm in a new circle in Southeast Washington. See, I grew up uptown, but I'm a Washingtonian. I'm really universal. So nowhere is I lay claim to. I claim to the universe. I lay claim to the divine essence of my being, my connection with the Creator. I lay claim to the unfolding universe, my consciousness, everything about me. I'm part of the energy of the Creator. So I don't claim just here. Like they say, all politics is local and all that. Yeah, good. And my Moorish brothers talking about getting nationality. You get your nationality. This. I'm not even part of that. I'm universal. I'm the essence of the Creator. I'm a spiritual warrior, mystical warrior, warrior priest, king in the mystery griot. I'm anointed in the light of Christ, and Christ is nothing but a title. I'm a courageous, generous servant of the sovereign Lord. I'm universal. I'm spiritual. I'm not going to let them divide me and conquer on my Muslim personality, or my Christian personality, or my Hebrew personality, or whatever personality of righteousness that I display or be in the company of. They're not going to divide and conquer me, because I'm part of all of it. The power of us being united is much greater than us being separated. That's why we must apply the 7 principles of our culture of Kwanzaa that we created here in America, the descendants of American African slaves. And with that, let me go into these other poems that's related to the relationship I was in. This is called Essence. the nobility and eloquence of a Ghanaian Sufi warrior queen. In her moment of need to be touched, held, caressed, kissed, I once knew this nomadic maiden who dared to fly into the spiritual realms with the love of Allah, to find her essence of being in the now. She always is forever to me. Our intimate moments were of a spiritual nature, far, far away from this plane we call reality, where we explored the essence of our oneness in a state of bliss, which we will never be missed. Because what she gave me, I still have and always will have it, and hold it close to my life source to energize my being. And on cold, dreary days, when I hear her voice, her words warm my soul. So why would I need to seek our wealth when she is my gold? When I think of her, it's like magical moments occur, where I hear nothing but the silence and beauty of our heartbeats in sync. And I wrote this because of a picture she sent. I think she was in Ghana at the time. And when she was in all white, she was just sitting there. And she was beautiful. I think that the Creator sculptured her for herself. I'm telling you, when it took me 365 days, every day in my mind and my heart when we kind of departed. Every day I thought about this sister. Not because of the beauty, but I ain't gonna lie, the beauty had a lot to do with it. It wasn't lust, it was love and sort of mix or whatever, but the spiritual aspect of it was much greater. It was an awesome relationship. She was Sufi, and I was Orthodox. Not that it was a conflict, it was just my lack of understanding. That I ain't practiced, Sufism, but, oh man, it was awesome. That's all I have to say. And here's the last part of that. Oh man. Amina Saisi Muhammad has the scent of 1,000 roses. And nobody knows this but me, because she allowed me the key to mentally and spiritually see behind the radiance of her smile, where lies the brightness of her nocturnal garden, like walking on a path adorning the night sky with the brightness of the sun all in one, just leaving your mind, body, and soul undone. And this is just the first phrase of the journey with this angelic, graceful, beautiful, intelligent African-American sister, who graced the skies of my mind with her knowledge and understanding. Never was she demanding of others, but was always extending herself in a helpful manner, and keeping the banner of her deen held high at all times. Morality and practice was the key to her being on the path of righteousness. This African-American sister is wise beyond all measure, and it is my pleasure to have grown from her insight. Now, and between Amina Saisi Muhammad and myself, there is only the scent of 1,000 roses. And nobody knows this but me. What has freed us of the love of all eternity? Was it that you couldn't learn from me the simple, calm, and poetic life that Allah has given me? Or was it that barrier existed between us like that of life and death, or sweet and salt water, that just didn't mix? Or was it the tricks of the shaitan and his dupes, like Harut and Marut? Or did I stoop so low in my behavior that went against the love that I gave you? Or separate families, or guests in the house, or we couldn't jail? Mysticism and the mystery of unanswered questions. Seeking you shall find. Searching you shall find all that was lost. The hurt and pain that I must gain to overcome the mental strain, to maintain the emotional balance, to love once again my deen. You see, Amina Saisi Muhammad, a love supreme is not a dream. It is my reality which I won't let go. Even so, you don't love me anymore. It's my slow death, because I have nothing left. Nothing but love for you. What is it? Maybe what you never had for me. You have to figure that out. Or whatever it may whatever it is. Thanks to you, though. I can look in the mirror with a clearer consciousness. My path has become a path of righteousness, seeking the pleasure of Allah, and you are definitely one of them, mentally, physically, and spiritually. In the shadows of your life, know there is no need for strangers in the night or spiritual rendezvous of the past. Maybe with the leader of the clan. I wanted to be the last man in your life and you to be forever my wife. We plan and Allah plan. He is the best of planners. Ya Allah, bring her back to me if it's a part of your divine decree. I'm a Sayyid Muhammad. Keep smiling. My sister in Islam. That was my last and final part to our our endeavors together. But she's always in my heart no matter what. Because every instance that I become into contact with people of like energy, that bond is forever no matter what. The reasons are pure. The reasons are divine. The reasons are for the development of us as a people through love, respect, and honor, holding our sisters in high esteem no matter what. No matter what, and no matter what we go through, still be able to talk in harmony and peace, always, as brothers and sisters. So with that, I want to go. I want to go right here. And what I was saying about this attire, I wear it to make an impression upon people to see me in it. So what is the subconscious saying when you see that, or see me walking with a staff or a raft in the street in 2016? What hits you? What hits you first? Dang, he looked like, nah, that can't be. But why can't it be? Why can't that energy of the so-called lost one, or the one that they indoctrinated us with, called that Jesus or whatever, but it's linguistically a fact that the J didn't come out until the 15 or 1600s. We talking about 2016 years ago when that entity or that energy of that personality supposedly walked the earth. And they say could have been Isa. That's the proper name because the J wasn't there, but they said the I was there, or Yahweh or something like that. Yahweh is the name for the creator though. But anyway, that's what I wear this for. And it makes me feel righteous and holy. But I'm trying to also make an impression to impress people. Impress upon them. Not impress them in an arrogant way, but impress upon them the righteousness in us as divine beings. Energetic divine beings in the quantum world, in the holographic world. We gotta study and learn our language, our culture, and all of that to come back where we're supposed to be. We got to go black to get now, so we can develop and plan. We have to do that. My sister Dolores, peace and love, my matriarchy, melanated warrior, priestess queen. Sister Dolores is one of the sisters in this great movement that's in Ward 8. On the backbone and support, one of the strongest sisters during campaigning in our movement, stimulated by our ancestors, William Locke and Mary Bird, to mentor a young, brilliant, astute, the candidate now, Trayon White. I say good morning, my sister. Much love, respect, and honor, and all homage. So I'm glad you joined. But anyway, that's what this is about. To make an impression upon your mind, upon your inner being, upon our innate nature to be righteous people, holy people, to institute in us an institutionalized concept of our culture, because we are righteous and holy people, and overcome this narcotic, this social narcotics of white supremacy and institutionalized racism that we be taught from infant from all these schools that's now, if we ain't homeschooling, and if it's not African-centric school, these public schools have a political agenda that conform us to be just one, have everybody doing the same thing as robots. Look at it. Look at it for what it is. You can look at it on TV or whatever. And TV is their instrument of mass mind control. So don't lose your soul. Take on the principle of Kwanzaa. This principle, purpose. Don't let nobody validate you or whatever. So with that, I want to go into this one. It's called Journey. Hey, sister. Yes, you. With that African aura about yourself. Can we have a meeting of the minds and allow time to bring us closer together? You seem to be mentally free, and that is the key that unlocks the mysteries of self and who you are on the inside, the inner being. Now that we are in the realm of understanding and mutual trust, would you like to take my hand and journey with me on my magic carpet of thought, where we will transcend space and time? Come with me as we glide between the air, the doorway to a love supreme, the path through a nocturnal garden with the lights only sensing a dream, as we descend into the mystical forest where the only sound we hear is silence and tranquility. Come, my mystical African night queen, and let's lie upon this white linen next to the blue Nile as our inclination produces a melodious funk. The vibrations are exotic. As we lie here intertwined in a love embrace with ecstasy taking place, the aroma of amber, myrrh, and body musk saturates the atmosphere that we're in. As frankincense pulls from our pores as we try to reach the higher heights of pleasurable delights, which can only be attained when the body, mind, and soul become one, the essence of which is when we reach the apex of ecstasy, being overwhelmed by the climax as we mutually came back to reality. This is Journey, one of my earlier poems that I really truly like, because it is all about oils, really. You know, oils, those natural oils that they sell, that's what that was all about. But you know, like in the movies, like in the news on TV we all looked at is all about sensationalism. But this is about reaching the soul and stimulating, motivating, whatever, being sensual or whatever in there or whatever. But it's all about growth and development. And our growth and development should be the development of our mind, body, and spirits. We got to exercise on all levels. Whatever way of life we choose to live or practice or religion, but if it's Christianity, Islam, Hebrew, Jew, whatever, I'm talking about us. This is my concern, us, from our babies, our youth, in between that, and our elders. That is my concern, not only here, but worldwide, globally. I am a universal person with a universal concept, even though all politics is local. It started from a seed, and the seed has grew into what it has become by being ordained by the Creator and in the essence of my ancestors. My ancestors didn't live and die for anything. Them ones that's in the bottom of the ocean of the Atlantic, those ones on the sea, the coastline of Akabu land, so-called Africa, those ones that died there, the ones that died all up on the islands, the West Indies and South America and Central America, and here that died, they didn't die for nothing. All the lynching, castration, mutilation, indoctrination is not for nothing, not to me. If I'm the only one on this planet Earth that's going to say something about it and fight against it, that's what I'll do. I'll stand alone in the development of my spirit and my soul as the essence of what the Creator and my ancestors left for me. The truth is etched in stone. To know thyself is over the door of education, true education, where you understand yourself. You work on yourself, your body, your spirit, and your soul. The exercise you do, and all that, to build muscles and all that, you got to build your spirit also. You got to build your mind also. Your subconscious and your conscious got to come together, merge. And that's when you got to get into other knowledge. Not only the indoctrination and the education of the social narcotics of white institutionalized racism and It's the social narcotics that's affect us, and it's been affecting us for generations. It's time to stop. And we deal with that by developing a foundation of principles that we live by, that we incorporate into our life, not just during 7 days, but every day of our lives. Like, not like Christmas or Halloween or Father's Day or Mother's Day. Not one day. Father's Day and Mother's Day is every day. Every day we come up, we wake up, we go out here and work and survive and do all the other things, that pay the rent, to get food on the table and all that. That's every day, just like these principles are every day. And we got to come out of that. Stop taking that social narcotics. I know we got to go to the institution because we don't have our own infrastructure. We can do homeschooling. And we don't have to be programmed, send our children to be programmed as though they are robots. Again, I like to go over the principles. The first principle was Umoja. The second one was Kukuchakalia. The third one was Ijama. The fourth one was Ujama. The days is NEE-yah. The day is purpose. We got to have a purpose in life. We just can't go through life and for nothing. Excuse me 1 second. Well, we can't go through life for nothing and don't make an imprint. You know, what will be the worth of being here? You think we come through that birth canal of our mothers, all the pain that our mothers went through to bring us here? I mean, some of them didn't go through a lot of pain. I don't know if it's pain in natural birth, or, you know, when you just have it on your own without going to the hospital. I don't know nothing about that. I never experienced that. But I know they say coming out that birth canal is a lot of pain for our sisters. So that's why we should hold our sisters in high esteem no matter what. Protect them, honor them. We got to. They the backbone. The matriarchic essence is our blessing. The mother is always there. So again, Umoja, unity, Kukuchakalia, self-determination, Ujama, collective work and responsibility, Ujama, cooperative economics, NEE-yah, purpose. We've got to instill this in our lives as an institution. Overcome the social narcotics of institutionalized racism, classism, and worst of all, white supremacy. And if they want to take America back to when it was great, there ain't going to be no more Jim Crow, black law, and hangings and lynching and all that. Not on the scale that it once was. See, we don't have that submissive soul no more. There's enough of us that know the truth about you and your demonic beast-like nature. And that's the reality. It's the reality, because how can a human being with any sense of humanity do what they done to us? How could the Vatican, supposed to be intermediary between us and God, the Roman Catholic Church, how could they sanction slavery in 1543 or something like that? I'll get that correct, but I think it's 1543 or 1545. The Bullets Papists, they signed into their law that they can go into Akabu land, so-called Africa, and take us out of Africa and enslave us because we was heathens. According to, they say, the word of God, gave them that power. Then the Christianity is doing the same thing. They went deeper in and brought us out, and the islands and all that, and brought us here, castrated us, hung us, raped us, and not only our women, our men too. We got to realize what these people have done, and they say, oh, that was then. But we go through post-traumatic slave syndrome that's in our subconscious, because subliminally, through our education, what do they teach us about? They teach us about slavery because they want us to be subservient. They don't teach us about that we build pyramids. They don't teach our children that we build pyramids, that we seen the Sirius star without a telescope, that we built that Amalek big old head in Mexico. They don't teach that we the original people. We got to do that, because we in this matrix where they want to control our soul, our physical body, our spiritual body, our economical body. They want to control everything about us. And we got to stop it. As yesterday, we got to be so, man, we suffer from this drug or social narcotics so bad, man. And all us that's, we're in a position of comfort and all that. Not saying nothing bad, but those with those 6 figures or more, some of them come from a selfish, egotistic mindset. It ain't nothing I'm saying, and I'll go right to the ones that I'm talking about and say, man, that's you. That is you, But it ain't about that. It ain't about tearing down. It's about building up. We as a people must build ourselves up from our little babies to our little youth, to the middle age, to those over that, and then our elders. We must protect and defend on all levels. And with that, let me go into this. Let me get a little bit of this. This is honey and ginger. So good, so good. I need some alkaline water, though. I swear I do. Make you feel good. Umoja, unity, Kukuchakalia, self-determination, Ijamaa, collective work and responsibility, Ujamaa, cooperative economics, NEE-yah, purpose. The first 5 principles of this Kwanzaa. And if you can get out the house and go to a Kwanzaa celebration and lighting up the candles and all that, do that. But remember, this not just for these 7 days. This is a development of an institution. And I know that I'm not the only one saying this or have said this, but I'm saying it because I feel I have a need to say it in my community. First with me, because everything I say, I hear it first. It's developing my conscious and my subconscious and come through that process out of my vocal cords, out of my mouth, but then I hear it. It deals with my 5 senses, but it also deals with my other senses that beyond my 5 senses, my spiritual entity, my divine energy, because we are all of a divine nature. We just got to enhance it by a natural process, a ordained process, or a practicing process, or whatever. But we got to get to a level that we love ourselves. We got to change our language. We got to change our heart, and we got to change our mind. We got to love each other because we've been programmed to be in a paradigm of hating, self-hate. That's hating yourself. And if you hate yourself, then you're going to hate everybody else. But if you love yourself, you're going to love everybody else. And that's what we got to do because we are loving people. We got to love each other. We got to have that synergy, that energy, the frequency and vibration that they manipulate through mass control, mind control, through television, the chemtrails, everything. We got to know this, that this is happening in this day and time. But my black is the essence of God. In the making of me, the original man and woman. My black is crystal clear, and I hold it so near and dear. My black is the essence of a black woman, strong, bold, and intelligent in her matriarchy abode. That's soul, my mystical flower of magical powers. Black is etched in, truth is etched in stone in the pyramids of my mind, in my Nubian home next to the Nile River where the truth was delivered to me. My black is the melanin being secreted to activate my pituitary and my pineal gland to open my third eye in order for me to become celestially connected, universally free, and spiritually divine. My black is the stolen legacy, plagiarism, distortion, lies, and even the sanction of the Pope that gave them hope of being better than those who brought them the Renaissance at their mind's expense. My black is being stolen from our homeland by the European man, clan after clan with a ruthless hand. Rape, castration, mutilation of the African nation. My black is the death of 350 million Africans, and they want us to forget and to remember some European bitter news. My black is auction blocks being born and then torn from our families, jumping brooms then sleeping in separate rooms with the children, while the children become mulattoes, octoroons, and quarteroons. Oh, I gotta say that again. My black is the auction blocks, being born, then torn from families, jumping brooms. When we got married, we had to sleep in separate rooms, while children became mulattoes, octoroons, and quarteroons. Man, my black is back doors, fighting wars, Ku Klux Klan, the white man under sheets, lynching, burning in the streets, Jim Crow, black laws, Emancipation Proclamation, all in this nation. My black is racism, classism, separation, integration, almost like apartheid. So many of us died with civil rights and no human rights. All this was in broad daylight. My black is assassination, agent provocateurs, informers, and snitches. NSA, NSC, CIA, FBI, who bring in the cocaine and the heroin that people be buying. But they tell us there's a war on drugs. But they just be lying. My black is taking the white Jesus off the walls of our churches and rewriting the story in school books, stating that our history begins with slavery instead of the building of the first civilizations. My black is my love for my people, no matter Christian, Muslim, or Jew. And that's that black in you that makes you who you are, a celestial star with the essence of God etched across your heart. Just like mystical art, black is what it is, beautiful and supreme. And this is no dream. My black is a manifest reality that can't be sold or bought. My black is reteaching the European story with the truth about our story that needs to be taught. My black is what it is. It's black power, peace, and love for my people. That is my black. My black is the essence of being the original man, the original people on this planet Earth. My black is being manipulated, indoctrinated. But we got to overcome that social narcotics of white supremacy and establish the principle of Kwanzaa as an institution in here, America, worldwide, because it's a global problem that we face with today. And don't forget, purpose, NEE-yah. And with that, I want to go here. This is dedicated to my Nubian, Kemetic, matriarchic, beautiful queens. And I'm sincere about this one here. And I really feel it, and hopefully that you accept it. I apologize. I apologize to the women of the melanin world, from the beginning of the tribal wars to leaving the African shores, opening the door of no return to the matriarchic society, across the Atlantic on a ship called Satanic, where all hell was suffered by you, the mother of the earth. We just stood there and watched you raped of your innocence, like something you asked for. I apologize, my queen. Every ship should have burned right there. Then they disrobe you of your dignity upon landing on the shores of the United States of America, and paraded you on an auction block being bidded upon by ruthless fiends who never seen such beauty of Hattatans. All sadistic acts against you have not been forgotten. The brutal rapes, the killing of your babies, including fetuses. Our act of dying and killing should have been there at that moment, and this story would have never been able to be told. But after all that you've been through, why we stood by and did nothing. My melanin sister, what unfolds next? The shame that I give no name to it. All the abuse, verbal, physical, and sexual that stems from our hands as insult to the unforgotten injury. Even though all men of African descent are not guilty of these shameful acts, I still ask for forgiveness of every one of my melanin sisters, in hopes that you will accept the apology of one who feels the pain and shame in knowing these acts have taken place. But no more. Never again will that sin be upon us, because death will be our martyrdom. For matriarchic society is back from its ancient future and is here to stay with my melanin sisters. Building upon it day by way of electrical connecting to the sisterhood of power. Such warrior queens are Amana, Azinga, Nefertiti, Cleopatra, Harriet Tubman, Sojourner Truth, Betty Lou Heyman, Shirley Chisholm, Dr. Khadija Abdul-Malik, Cynthia McKennedy, Michelle Obama. All homage is due to all my melanin sisters all over the globe. And I hope you accept my apologies. I mean, even me, you know, with my idiosyncrasies and my dealing all the time wasn't of the high esteem that I'm talking about now. But I have come out of that state of mind. I changed my heart, I changed my language, and I changed my mind because my spirit and time has overtaken me to accept who I am as a warrior priest king, as a melanated black man, or original black man that loves my people, and it started with the love of the essence of my people, the mother of the earth, the mother of the universe, the matriarchal queen who gave birth to life, and life to birth. And we as a black melanated people must hold our women in high esteem. Got to. First teachers of our children, the first teachers who put their lives on the line for us. And so with that, accept my apology in general for all my brothers that must be forgiving, asking your forgiveness, asking their own forgiveness, and asking the forgiveness of the Creator, so that now we can develop and we can have that foundation where we protect our whole community through love, through understanding, through development, unification, organization, and the development of an infrastructure based on principles that pertains to our culture. Every day, it's an institution. That's how it comes. We have to build a foundation, and I want to thank Amen Ka, Awaken Ra for joining. But anyway, I went from there, now I go to here. It's how to love a woman. How to love a woman is a natural, mystical process that is holistic in the essence of understanding who she is, the beauty, intelligence, and respect and honor that is due her. Then you caress her mind and massage her thoughts, letting her know that this matriarchal moment is from the divine, as the yin and yang find this for the yin and yang find celestial mattress that strike a fire of desire as energy, vibrations, and frequencies take you higher and higher to bring you closer to universal time. As the Yanni and fellas intertwine in a romantic embrace upon the lips of sensuality. Sensuality, like fine wine that you can taste, placed in a soulful moment where the spirit transcends time and you find a moment of eternity. And you realize, moment by moment, is how you love a woman. This right here is part of me and a brother Swoop, Frederick Ballinger, I believe that's his dramatic name. And another sister, we did a poem, How to Love a Woman, and this was my part. He had the beginning part, I had this part, but I'm telling you, I gotta find that CD and let y'all hear it one time. The sister tore it up, man. After what we said, and then she came in, woo, boy, I'm telling you. That's that unity, that synergy that we got to have as a people. Our energy, our vibration, and the frequency that we come together naturally. You feel it. It's a natural process. You can see somebody and like, oh man, that's awesome. You know, it's this first you see an aura, Then you feel the energy. And then, excuse me, I have to do this again because I should keep it in, but let me do it like this so it won't be so messed up. I got to put the battery in. Ah, man. Excuse me, I'm just messing up. This is not professional. But forgive my unprofessional moment. So I can give this thing some juice. Oh, there you go. God, dog it. I apologize. I know I'm going to get docked for that. I got to dock myself for that mishap there. But I want to go into, I was just talking about that last poem. And it was so beautiful that that woman tore it up. That sister tore it up. I mean, I got to find it, like I said. And the juice was running out, so that's why I went through all that, messing up the camera and all that. And I humbly apologize. So very unprofessional. But let me go here, keep this going right here, because we ain't got that much time. Well, dude, we got all the time we need. But anyway, I'm going into, again, I want to emphasize why I'm here. One of the reasons that I'm here is in the celebration of Kwanzaa, first fruit, and Kabo Nguzo Saba, 7 principles of Kwanzaa. Umoja, unity. To strive for and maintain unity in the family, community, nation, and race. Kukuchakali is self-determination. To define ourselves, name ourselves, create for ourselves, and speak for ourselves. Ujima, collective work and responsibility to build and maintain our community together and make our brothers and sisters' problems our problems, and to solve them together. Ujima, cooperative economics to build and maintain our own stores, shops, and other business, and to profit from them together. NEE-yah, purpose to make our collective vocation in the building and development of our community in order to restore our people to their traditional greatness. That is today's principle. And you heard that word, right? To our traditional greatness. And they talk about going back to America when it was great. Who made America great? On whose backs was America made great? If it wasn't for us, America wouldn't be in the position that it is now, even though it's forced labor and all that, and through this industrial revolution, through the sale of cotton, general, or whatever, tobacco, or whatever. But it was upon our backs that America became great. And it's going to be upon our minds for it to be great again. See, as they plot and plan, the Creator also plans. And we are the essence of the Creator. So we have to develop an infrastructure through unity and organization, through the principles of Kwanzaa. As a people, a loving people, a people that's healing, we must heal. We must heal. We must unify amongst ourselves, first and foremost. Totally heal. Come together, totally unified and organized in the infrastructure, even though we deal within their infrastructure. Like they infiltrated our infrastructure, it's time for us to infiltrate their infrastructure and change it from within. That's what we got to do. Because why? I say this because I'm a scientist priest king. As my melanin is secreted to my pituitary and my pineal gland, I once again become a real African man. My third eye will open as I had always planned. I will stand as a scientist priest king, a Nubian pharaoh from the upper Nile. Now I will go through the trials, tribulation of this chaotic and confused nation without hesitation. With libation to the ancestors and purity of thought, with the essence of truth being sought, I move forward with clarity as my subconscious and conscious mind merge. I am led by divine light with exorcism as my insight. I said I'm led by divine light with axioms as my insight, universal truths. And if you measure the contrast of the matrix between you and I, you will understand why I'm willing to die for, willing to live for, the love supreme as my realities and dreams blend. As I now ascend and descend in any realm, being a scientist, priest, king, or Nubian pharaoh from the upper Nile, if I look into your eyes, and you will be mesmerized only to realize for yourself that we were kings and queens of past, ancient, and future times. We must overcome the stagnation and indoctrination of this forbidden nation, plus the escalation of falsehood to prevails here, and understand that the end is growing near, but the righteous have nothing to fear. And we must continue to hold our youth and elders dear, so that the griot and seer will always be here to give us the truth of our story, of our past glory and sure real knowledge, the legacy that was stolen from chematology and replaced with Greek mythology. And understanding demand that the lies must cease and the truth increase, and being told by all people who haven't turned to being sold and selling their soul for materialistic gain. To forget what's at stake would be like sealing your own fate. It's never too late to understand that ignorance is no excuse for stupidity. You got to be genuine in order to keep up with those who be lying, even about the homeless dying in the wintertime. It's a crime when it be happening all the time, winter after winter, like a habitual sinner. But they can give $36 billion yearly to those who stole the country. As my third eye never blinks, I always stop to think, morally like a priest, knowledgeably like a scientist, and humbly and humanely, and caring like a king, a Nubian pharaoh. And it's not about me, but our entire earthly clan eventually taking a moral stand against the enemy of man. If we don't know the enemy of man, our natural enemy, then we're very, very under that narcotic, that social narcotics. We're very under a hypnotic trance from that social narcotics of institutionalized racism and white supremacy. We got to understand the beast in its nature. We can't be emotional. We got to be rational and spiritual. Because if we don't, we're just going to keep falling victim to the same old thing generation after generation. And see, me, never was I a slave, nor a nigga. Because last Kwanzaa, I was in the company of the prolific Reverend Jeremiah Wright. And he talked about the Seminole Indians, the Aborigines and Indigenous of America. When England came over and all that, and trying, do what they do, take over the land, they fought against that, and they fought against, and during the time of slavery. But they don't tell you nothing about that. That they couldn't defeat them. They pushed them out, but they didn't. It was a retreat to go further. They went further out of west, but when they was in Florida and in those swamps and all that, they couldn't touch them. The guerrilla tactics that they used, they couldn't touch them. In all the last wars that these people been in, and the last like Afghanistan and Iraq and Libya and all that. Other than that, they didn't win no wars. They didn't win the wars against Vietnam, Korea, and really they didn't win those wars in Afghanistan, Iraq, and all that. They in there making their money. That's what their thing is all about. In the military-industrial complex, it's all a corporation. So, but what I'm saying is that I am the substance of life without a price. I can't be brought, because I am free and cannot be sold or brought. I don't care what your children are taught. In life, I'm a spiritual warrior, an African ninja, and I don't care if I offend you, because I'm here to bend the lie back in the truth. No longer will the truth and falsehood be strangely mixed. I see your tricks, lies, and manipulation because of your melanin frustrations. Because you be chasing my dreams, builders of pyramids and great civilizations, and the ultimate in race relations. So therefore, I was never a slave nor a nigga. You see, I have faith in God and don't have to see him her, it to believe in. So therefore, I can't develop a God complex and take everything out of context, like marriages of the same sex. No reproduction, so what's the function? The maker of man-made laws gone mad like Nero, your hero, playing the violin as the world burns out of control. But those in control with no soul and no passion for the masses. But you can't control me, I'm mentally free. And never was I a slave nor a nigger. You will never be able to figure me out because I'm the mystery of ancient and future times. In the long line of masterminds and griots, the keeper of our story. In this so-called post-racial era, it becomes clear that everything is out of control. As the people with soul are sold a new culture identity without indemnity. As you become your own enemy, once again, as the system that hasn't changed has you believing in social equality has been attained. Just because of the fame of one African king and the society of Europeans who surrounds him, do you think they treat him like the next of kin, or he's really their friend? Just look at the Republicans and how they vote. My third eye is open, and I see clearly. It's merely hypocrisy being paraded as democracy for the republic in which it stands. Oh, say, can you see? It's all connected from the sinking of the Lithuania to the present-day chaos by the Iranians. Man-made pandemics without limits, standing on the verge of total economical plan collapse. And this don't have anything to do with the Zodiac. It goes a long way back to the Knights Templars of Solomon, who became the learned elders of Zion, lying in wait to implement the next phase of the plan, as they have commercialized the revolutionary slogan, power to the people. And the people don't know what they be buying, because the IRS, Federal Reserve, and the international bankers all be lying. The final sign of the New World Order being put in place. But you see, I was never a slave nor a nigger. And I figure one aim, one purpose, one goal for those with melanin in their soul as the creative plans unfolds in us, in our being, in our mind, conscious, subconscious, our spirit, our heart, and our actions. Because whatever you put in this brain is like a computer. Whatever you put in it is going to come out in words, actions, or deeds. So let's put in our computer love for each other. Let's change this hatred, this murder, this killing, this robbing, this stealing from each other. Let's purify ourselves. Let's change. They say that the youngsters are out there doing it, what they're doing because they got to eat. We all got to eat, but let's be unique and defeat the slave catchers. Let's defeat those that manipulate us by design. They put that information, because we got to change the language. We can't keep saying that, because we perpetrating that same energy. We ain't got to do that. We can work. I know money is like the wages sometimes can keep you below the poverty line or right at the poverty line or whatever. But if we pool our resources and come together, like them Latino brothers, we talk about them like they're a dog. They be working for less money than us, but they pool their resources. Them African brothers, we talk about them like they're a dog, but they pool their resources. That groups of them be living, or families be living in the same dwelling, sharing everything, communal living. The problem is that us in America, throughout America, we full of that social narcotics. They shot it in us, in our psychic. We take it on, we live it, and perpetrate it generation after generation. It alludes back and go back to that we practice those things that's not black. We practice those holidays that don't even belong to us, and we don't even know the reality of them on the other side of them. We don't, just like the movie stars and the musicians that go through what they got to go through to get to where they got to go through maybe, if not reach the level of being a blood sacrifice, but they might have to do that because that's what they do in those circles, in those secret societies. They do that. That's what they do. That's why it's a secret society. That's why the skulls and bones and these masons and these trilaterals and all of them, they go to islands and do their thing, orgies and all that. Christmas's aspect of that is about Saturnalia. Saturnalia is what the Romans used to do. And you know this society is based on Roman law. So if that's so, that those things that's hidden on the flip side of it, they used to gather, give out gifts, and have sexual orgies and all that. Same thing about Easter and all that. Same thing about, Valentine's Day and all that. We got to know the real reality of these things. And see, we practice them, and they're not our way of life. They're not our real holidays, but we caught up in the commercialized of the social narcotics that's been injected into our minds, and everything since we were infants. And we do it year after year after year. We perpetrate it. See, they masters of that. They give you that, give it to you, and you do it. There's like the same thing. The FBI, the CIA bring all them drugs in our community and all the guns and give them to us, and we use them to our detriment. We got to overcome that. We can take those guns and become disciplined and be an army. Not to attack anybody, but to defend ourselves. We got to be disciplined like NOI, FOI of the NOI. Love them brothers because of their discipline. And we just got to get that discipline. Our young warriors is just on them corners, man. We can come together and pool our resources. We ain't got to hurt nobody. We ain't got to sell no drugs to nobody. We ain't got to be drinking. We got to purify our temples. And with that, I'm going to come to a close. And I said all that I said to motivate, stimulate, and agitate. Because it is a war going on. It's a war of classism, racism, and really they don't want us here no more because of who we are. We're a divine people. We got what they need. They want to live forever, so they take our body parts. I'm talking about the high echelons. I ain't talking about like the laymen. I ain't talking about like these I ain't gonna say that. I was gonna say poor white trash, but I ain't gonna say. I'm gonna say uneducated Europeans, Neanderthals, or whatever. I don't want to attack nobody. I don't want to be antagonistic. I just want to be. I want to be correct. I want to be. I ain't gonna say politically correct because I ain't no politician. I don't practice politics, and I don't want to be part of the hypocrisy of the United Snakes of hypocrisy under satanic administration. I am a spiritual warrior, a mystical warrior, warrior priest, king, and a mystic griot. I'm anointed in the light of Christ because Christ ain't nothing but a title. And the name behind it, I ain't saying I'm that. I'm me, Humam Abdulmalik. But I'm anointed by divine decree. I proclaim that and I accept that. I'm anointed in the understanding of my universe and the energy of the Creator that's in me. And I love my people. And I want to help heal my people. As I love myself, I'm healing also. Because I'm not perfect. I have idiosyncrasies. I'm a human being. But I put my mindset on a higher level, on a spiritual, divine level that my ancestors left. Modern day ancestors to the past ancestors. All the way black to where we become adapts and initiative in the chambers of understanding who we are. And the first law of that is to know thyself. And the way that you know yourself, you go into your universe, to understanding, to affect the universe. See, the people, our natural enemies, they control this through the news media, through frequency, vibrations, and energy, through the chemtrails that they put up in there. They're blocking the sunlight that'll give us that melanin, the antennas that our brothers wearing to give them that divine energy. These people know more about what we should know about ourselves than we do. They know that we are deities here within these temples. The energy of the deity, the creator, is within us. So we take on that personality and the characterization and live like that through love for our people and develop institutions as Kwanzaa every day of our life. These principles of unity, self-determination, collective work and responsibility, cooperative and economics, and purpose. And we can't let nobody validate us. Nobody. We can't let them validate us. They already indoctrinated us. And this thing been going on for years. And see, I'm not the only one talking like this or been talking like that. I've been 60 revolutions around the sun. But what about those that have been around 100 revolutions, 1,000 revolutions, 2,000 revolutions? All that belongs to us. All that information, all that divine information belongs to us. And so we got to apply it to us in love. So I say, put down the gun, put down the drugs, stop selling them. And to me, I ain't gonna say it's an excuse, but I'm saying we got to change the language of them youngins doing it because they got to eat. That sounds good, but it ain't the reality. Pool our resources, man. Get a job so you can get the slave catchers off your back. You might not have all the materialistic and all that. All that is an illusion, man. I'm this, I'm that, I'm the bling bling. That's an illusion. You're a human being, man, a divine being. That's what you are. That's what we are. We got to unify and come back. Come black to where we are divinely orientated and instructed. And if you're in a religious set, it's got to be about unity. I don't care who you is. You can't be a Muslim talking about them Christians, and them Christians can't be talking about them Muslims. It's us. Remember what Malcolm said. They killing us not because we're Muslim, Christians, or Jew. They killing us because we're black. Remember why Muhammad Ali ain't go kill the Viet Cong. Because he said these people are killing us here. Remember that we just seen recently a large spurt in police killing us. Outright, they're shooting us down, shooting us in the back because he was scared for his life. A guy running away from him, 20 feet away from him, but he's scared for his life and shoot him 7 times in the back, then throw a gun on him, or a laser, or a taser, or whatever. This is the mentality and the beast of their nature that we got to come from under. And peace, love, and power of unification, organization, and development of the infrastructure. I say, be in your purpose today. Tell somebody that you love them. Hug somebody. Motivate somebody. Stimulate somebody. In the name of growth and development of black people unifying, coming together in love. Loving each other, overcoming all the idiosyncrasies of our communities. And I humbly apologize for the disrupted display this morning. I'm going to dock myself. It'll never happen again, hopefully. Not hopefully, it'll be in my power, so it'll never happen again. But anyway, with that, I say, again, peace, power. Peace, love, and power. The power to connect with this energy, frequency, and vibration to bring us together in love. And this principle today is NEE-yah, purpose. The purpose to begin to establish a divine, organic togetherness that's going to change the world. We have to be peacemakers and not peace breakers. With that, tomorrow, if the Creator be willing to give me what? The breath of life. Peace, love.